Hi, it's Jane Newman here again from the Network Marketing Success Academy, and I'm talking to you at the moment about your niche. Remember, in the last episode, we talked about why it's so important to know your niche, because the riches are in the niches. Niche, that's a European versus an American pronunciation, but the riches are in the niches. Please, if this is the only thing you take away from this, understand you need to know your niche. You cannot sell to everyone. If you market to everyone, you will sell to no one. If you try and market to everyone, you will get no one raising their hand. An analogy I like to use is if we're standing in a big stadium of people and you yell out, hey, not many people are going to turn around, right? Whereas if you yell out, Sarah, all the Sarahs are going to turn around. So we need to know who is your Sarah, who is your niche. So once you've defined that, what do you do next? Well, you need to go out and find your niche. You need to go out and find those people as you defined in your niche that have a similar problem, a similar life stage. They've tried similar things to your niche. So how do we find that? We need to use the power of Facebook groups. That is the best way to find people in your niche. And so there are so many, there's a Facebook group for every kind of person in the whole wide world. And it doesn't matter, how obscure, there's a Facebook group for it. And that is a beautiful thing about Facebook. There are billions of people on Facebook. And so we want to go and find them. And so the best thing to do is just set aside some time and go and look through some Facebook groups that you are already in, and perhaps some new Facebook groups that you aren't in yet. And what I want you to do is I want you to get in that group, and please, for the love of all that's good in life, do not do a post saying, hey, who wants to buy my product? That is not the purpose of going into these groups of your niche. Please don't do that. It won't work. Similarly, don't go in there and in the comments of the posting starts talking about you. In fact, try not to talk about your product and business at all until you're in Messenger with someone. So what do we do? So we go into the group, have a look at the content in the group. Do you enjoy consuming that content? Because if you're your niche, then does that make sense? If you enjoy consuming that content, then probably other people in that group who are consuming that content are likely to be your niche. And what I want you to do is I want you to start commenting on a few of those posts. And then the big trick, this is like my super secret trick, is comment on other people's comments. So you want to start building a conversation in the comments. So use open-ended questions. That's really interesting. I totally agree. What makes you say that? So you want to start creating a conversation in the comments on the relevant posts. Now, if you've got a post in there that you want to write, so for example, I had a dog that had a problem with their skin. So I wrote a post and said, hey, can you guys please help me with my dog? And what would you recommend for this skin result, this skin rash? And I got a ton of comments from that. Now, I could then comment on those comments, and when they made a recommendation, take it to Messenger so that I can then chat to them more about that. And then, they tell me about their dog, and my company offers a pet collagen. So there may be an appropriate time for them to ask, for me to, it would be appropriate for me to mention that product. But even if there isn't, even if there isn't a way or an appropriate time, I've still built that relationship with my target market. So that's where we find your niche. It's all in Facebook groups. I want you to get social. We are networkers. We're going to make friends, but this time you can do it in pajamas, in your bed, on your phone. You're going and creating conversations in groups. And I want you to think about becoming a highly engaged, valued member of those groups. One other thing I'll say before I close off. If you get into a group and you're like, oh my God, these guys are so boring, or these guys are not me, it's the wrong group. Pull out, back out, and go and find some other groups. So as part of your avatar work and your niche work is have half a dozen to a dozen groups where your niche are hanging out and chatting, that you enjoy hanging out and chatting, and go hang out and chat.